On Christmas Eve, 1945, a brutal fire tore through the Sodder family home in Fayetteville, West Virginia. By dawn, 5 of the 10 Sodder children had vanished, leaving behind a legacy of unanswered questions. What really happened that night? Did 5 children die in the flames, or were they stolen from their beds, leaving behind only smoke and secrets? To understand this puzzle, we have to turn back the clock to a family, a home, and a community before their world was ripped apart. George Sodder, born Giorgio Soddu in Italy, immigrated to the US and worked his way from laborer to respected businessman. He and his wife Jenny raised 10 children in their busy 2-story home. Despite their success, the Sodders' life was not without friction. George's blunt criticism of Mussolini, complete with public arguments, did not go unnoticed among certain members of Fayetteville's Italian community. Friends remembered strangers delivering mysterious warnings. One guest told George, "Your house will go up in smoke thanks to your anti-Mussolini talk." Yet, everyday life in the Sodder house was warm and bustling. On Christmas Eve, the children begged to open gifts and stay up late, creating memories while the parents settled routines. Sometime near midnight, Jenny sent the youngest children upstairs. The older siblings finished chores and played, promising to put out the lights when finished. Deep into the night, Jenny was startled awake by a phone call. A female voice asked for someone Jenny didn't know, then laughed before hanging up. After the call, Jenny noticed the house lights burning and curtains open. The kids rarely forgot these simple chores, especially at night. Moments later, Jenny heard a loud, sharp noise on the roof. She fell back asleep, only to wake again smelling smoke. Flames were racing through the house. Panic spread fast. George, Jenny, and 4 children escaped. 5 others, sleeping upstairs, did not appear at any window or call back. George smashed a downstairs window in a desperate rescue attempt, cutting his arm badly. Dense smoke forced him back, unable to reach the stairs. Thinking fast, George ran to fetch his ladder, but it was missing from its familiar spot. He raced to his 2 coal trucks, hoping to climb up, but now neither engine would start. Neighbors tried frantically to call for help, but the operator was unreachable. The fire department, short of manpower post-war, would not arrive until sunrise. By morning, the house was a skeleton of rubble. No trace of the 5 missing children had been found. The family, numb, could only wait for answers. Local fire chief Morris finally arrived and sifted through the embers. He reported finding absolutely no remains, no bones, no teeth, nothing. Authorities told the Sodders that the fire was hot enough to fully cremate 5 bodies. Jenny was unconvinced. Her own experiments suggested it was impossible. Investigators who studied house fires agreed. Typical blazes rarely reach the temperatures needed to incinerate bones in just 45 minutes. Soon, odd details piled up. A repairman confirmed the phone line was deliberately cut, not damaged by the fire. Who did this, and why? A neighbor reported seeing someone at the Sodder home late at night, stealing tools and strange equipment. George's ladder was recovered from a ditch far from home. Another witness, a passing bus driver, recalled seeing people throw what looked like small balls of fire, possibly Molotovs, onto the Sodder roof just before the blaze. Still others insisted they saw 5 children resembling the Sodder kids in a strange car on Christmas morning, staring wide-eyed out the back window. But despite mounting suspicions and conflicting stories, local authorities closed the case, stating the children died in the fire caused faulty wires. Refusing to accept this, George and Jenny Sodder erected a giant billboard on Route 16. For decades, it displayed photos and an appeal for any information. Rumors ran wild. Some believed the children had been taken by enemies of George's politics. Others recalled strange cars parked nearby in the days before Christmas. The Sodders hired private investigators. Leads surfaced from West Virginia to Texas, but every promising trail went cold or led to dead ends. In 1949, a pathologist combed through the ashes again. Vertebrae fragments surfaced, but tests showed no evidence of fire exposure, likely from dirt brought in after the blaze. Hope flickered again in 1967, when Jenny received an anonymous photograph of a young man thought to resemble Louis Sodder, now grown. The sender and recipient remain unknown. For the rest of her life, Jenny wore black mourning clothes, steadfast in her belief that her children were still alive somewhere in the world. The Sodder children's death certificates still stand, but the case remains officially unresolved. Each generation returns to the puzzle. Did those 5 children die, or were they spirited away? Even after decades, the evidence for either fate remains circumstantial. Inconsistencies, missing remains, and strange events keep the debate burning, year after year. To this day, The fate of the Sodder children endures as one of America's great unsolved mysteries, a story of hope, heartbreak, and the chilling force of the unknown.